Hey guys, it's me, the Aromantic Shipper, back with another video. This time doing something in the same vein of the What Is It Like Being Aromantic video I put out several weeks ago, but this time just going to be talking about a specific moment in my childhood that stands out to me as probably being the most embarrassing moment of my life. Why am I talking about it? I don't know. I want to, I guess. Yeah. What makes this moment stand out to me as the most embarrassing moment of my life would have to be the fact that I was fully and intentionally responsible for every part of it. Like, no one put me in this situation except for myself, and I have no idea why. Okay, so right off the bat, in regards to this story, it happened when I was pretty young, so obviously there are going to be some major holes in my memory. I think it was when I was 10 years old? Actually, that's really not that long ago. I can't believe I was so cringeworthy back then. So anyway, I'm just going to get into the story. So let me set the stage, shall I? So to understand this story, it might help to understand what my mindset at the time was in regards to school. I didn't like it, and I kept not liking it more as time went on. I missed the days long past where I could just basically do whatever the hell I wanted in school and goof off. I didn't like all the rules and homework that were being introduced, and I thought my life was just becoming so hard, and my teachers were putting me through hell, and no one knew the pain I was going through. Oh, the humanity! Man, if 10-year-old me could be transported into 19-year-old me's body, he'd probably kill himself. So anyway, one day when I was going to class, I decided that I would try to express to my teachers and classmates how much pain I was in and how hard I had it. So I decided to invent a made-up illness that I pretended to have contracted. Yes, my 19-year-old self is already congratulating 10-year-old me on his brilliant plan. This illness had the side effects of making you tired, making your body constantly ache, making you incapable of doing work, and made you constantly in a state of anger. Honestly, though, that last symptom was not really too much of a change from my usual emotional state during elementary school. Seriously, I was such a little edgelord shit back then. I would constantly scowl and snarl at other kids and do my best to never smile once. I would harass and chase girls and throw snowballs at them when it snowed. I would try to pounce on other kids on the playground like a jaguar. I was seriously messed up. Another symptom of this invented disease of mine was masochism, where I would basically be forced to punch myself in the face continually, because that's totally how diseases work, right? And what was the name of this rare and debilitating disease? No joke. Over-teacher workiness. Over-teacher workiness. That's what I called it. That's not just on the nose. That's inside the fucking nasal cavity. I mean, okay, I've always had a very active imagination. My mind constantly swirls around with a bunch of ideas, concepts, scenarios, and images. But man, I fucking suck at naming things. I always have and I always will. But yeah, that was basically my big plan, my big revenge on my teachers. Be extremely hard on my teachers for a day and blame my behavior on a disease that I couldn't control, but was also their fault for working me too hard. And of course, I still had to show that I was actually the one who was really suffering by inflicting self-harm to make them have sympathy for me. It sounds incredibly stupid and obvious, and yeah, it totally was, but I actually put a lot of thought and planning into it. Like, I was very careful to not just start acting up out of nowhere. I was careful to act out the illness in stages so that it would be convincing. You know, in the morning, I kind of led on that I wasn't feeling too good. I started showing more symptoms of the disease when I got to school, and was acting all clueless, like I didn't really know what was going on. I started slapping and hitting myself every now and then until my masochism increased in frequency, and I acted like I was really trying to power through my illness and getting as much schoolwork done as I possibly could going through what I was. After I played up my disease getting worse, my teacher came over to try to get me to tell her what was going on, and I was like, teacher, I don't know. It might be an illness called over-teacher workiness. I think I've heard of it before. It sometimes occurs when, a student is given too much work by their teacher, and, that's when the symptoms start coming on. Don't worry about me. I'll be fine. I can still get through my work. Yeah, I mean, really hamming up the drama. I don't really remember what my classmates were thinking that day. Maybe I just really wasn't paying attention to them. But looking back on it, they must have thought I was a fucking lunatic. My teacher did end up releasing me from schoolwork, but she also made me sit out by the hall until school ended and my mom came to pick me up, which was probably even more of a miserable experience for me than doing schoolwork. And by that point, I started pretending that the symptoms were actually getting a lot better and going away, like, haha, teacher, don't worry, it's fine, I'm totally fine, just let me get back to class, there's nothing to be concerned about. Because, a 10-year-old continually punching himself in the face certainly isn't any cause for concern at all. When my mom did show up and I got in the car with my brother, I was, expected to explain exactly what was happening to me that day to her. Honestly, by that point, I had completely regretted ever enacting my plan in the first place. I questioned what my goal for even doing so in the first place was. A question I'm still asking myself to this day, actually. Really, what what did I think was going to happen? My teachers were, suddenly going to submit to my demands to cure my made-up illness. Were grown-ass adults really supposed to fall for my obviously fake and ridiculously named disease? How was I supposed to explain my behavior to my mother? Really, how did I think I was going to justify that? My memory gets a little foggy from that point forward. I guess I remember trying to keep up the charade with my mom for a bit, trying to convince her that it was my debilitating illness what done did it. Her obviously seeing through that and me trying to deflect. I don't know, like I said, my memory gets a little spotty. But if there is one thing I will never forget about that day, it is the complete and utter embarrassment and shame that I felt. I could not believe I acted so stupidly, so illogically, so unreasonably. If I could go back in time and just erase any moment in my past, it would probably have to be that one. It was just so ridiculous and unnecessary. Oh man. Kids are so dumb. Anyway, that was the video. Just me remarking on an incredibly stupid, weird, embarrassing moment from my past. If you enjoyed watching this video, be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe. This has been the Aromantic Shipper, and I will see you all next time. Bye.